What's going on, guys? It's Joe, aka Beeping Nerd here, and I'm in my game room, and it's completely different than what you guys seen in December of 2024. So I figured I'd give you guys a quick tour and show you what we did to change it. So why don't we go check it out? Let's go. From back here, if you can see, we completely got rid of the old bulky shelves and went for this more slimmer design with a lot more shelf space. And honestly, I love it way more than what we previously had. This was all my wife's idea. This whole design is my wife's idea, and I'm so grateful for it. But now, basically all of my video games, all 12 to 1300 of them, can fit in this one shelf, which actually makes my collection look really small than what it really is. We actually got another shelf on the other side that I'll show you momentarily that allows us to fill up a lot more game space. And that was mainly the reason that we did this overall, is because that I just didn't have enough room to expand the game room and grow my game collection. Now I have more space than I know what to do with, and I love it. So everything's here, from the NES all the way to the Sega, to the PlayStation 5, to the Xbox, to even the soon-to-be released Nintendo Switch 2 will all fit on this shelf and eventually expand to the other side. I can't wait for that day. Now, the biggest overhaul that you guys could probably tell from my previous video, I'll show you what it looked like previously. We moved the TVs in the center of the game room now. So now you have space to walk around this entire room from either side, where previously all the couches and the TVs were pushed against the side. So if you sat at the end of the couch, you had to kind of shimmy through people, and it just got annoying. You know, a lot of people didn't like it. So we decided to make it to where you can do a complete circle around the couch here and just play the games right here. Now, to make the game room, the retro section, feel a little bit more retro, we actually found this chair that belonged to my wife's grandfather, and it just fit the whole beanbag chair, low. I don't know if you ever had those rocking chairs that were kind of like an L shaped and you just kind of rocked in them. That's what that gave me. It just gave me early 2000s vibe, so I thought this would be perfect for here. But it allows you to just have your own personal seating space when you're playing on the retro TV, but it'll also allow someone who's sitting at the end of the couch here to also be able to play two-player. And we just loved it so much that we just had to include it. It just fit so perfectly. All the retro consoles are on this side, on the right side of the room, and the left side, that's where all the HD 4K consoles are on the 75-inch TV. So as mentioned previously, we did get another shelf, just because we could fit more shelves with these thinner shelves than we could with the bulkier ones that we previously had in the game room. We were able to put another shelf that is basically empty. It's just holding a few N64 games at the bottom, and then my Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Color collection. But we could fit so many games in the future. My goal is to eventually have it expanding to this side. But it also has some toys and stuff like that, and some figures that I just didn't have space for. To eventually, I probably will. But we did that, and it looks great. And then right here, as you can see, we had like this single shelf, tier shelf, that we put the N64, fantastic consoles. I'm hoping to get every single one and fill it all the way down. Maybe if I have any space, get the GameCube, different colors of GameCubes, since those are my two favorite video game consoles of all time. I just thought that would be perfect. And overall, it looks good. It's empty, but it's going to grow. So you're probably asking yourself, Joe, why did you even want to do a room rearranging in the first place? Mainly because I wanted my own Pokemon section. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I've been a huge Pokemon fan since the Game Boy and Pokemon Red and Blue were out. But I wanted to collect vintage Pokemon toys, sealed. A lot of these are sealed, but I wanted to collect vintage Pokemon toys. And then I'm starting to get back in the Pokemon card collecting, and I wanted to get a tier glass case that I could fill with my graded cards, some sealed booster boxes and stuff like that I don't plan on ever opening. And then the top I would love to fill with some vintage theme decks, some vintage packs, some like base sets, some jungle, some fossils, some Neo Genesis. One day that's going to be filled with some just really retro things, and it's going to be very, very expensive, but overall I just wanted to fill that up and just make this whole section the retro section is kind of what I was aiming for. And then of course at the top, as you can see, I put a little this was kind of my own creation, but I found a little LCD TV on Amazon, and I have it hooked with the Amazon Fire Stick that plays normally Pokemon episodes, with Pokemon now being on YouTube. You can watch full-fledged Pokemon episodes on YouTube. This is typically playing Pokemon episodes all day long, but I did add a bunch of retro video game commercials that I remember having seen in my childhood, and it plays that too. So it'll go through vintage commercials that I grew up with, and I love it. I think this looks amazing. Everything that I have will be down in the description, so if you want to do anything like this to your own game room, feel free. I want to inspire people to change up their game rooms to the way they feel like they wanted to change it, and to me, Pokemon. So a lot of you people who watch this video, I don't know if you're old enough to even remember what this is, but this is an original, I think 2002 iMac computer. I've actually had this for a very long time. It used to be hiding under my computer desk, and then with the rearranging, I was able to display it, and it's usable. You can actually connect to the internet. Can't watch any YouTube or anything like that because of the limitations of what this thing can even do. But thanks to modding and the community, you can actually search for things. Like I could look up the Nintendo Switch 2 on a computer from 2002, and that's just mind-blowing to me. And you can also play CD games, of course. I have a lot of games like Putt Putt, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, because that's what my wife grew up playing. But this is workable, and if I can ever get Club Penguin to work on this, that would be nostalgic as heck. When I say I had to show this off, I mean, you guys understand why. If you haven't watched my December 2024 Game Room tour video, I talked about how I got this amazing gumball machine. I have to bring it up again. When I say check your Facebook Marketplace, because you never know what retro, vintage, nostalgic things you may find, I'm not kidding. I still go on eBay every once in a while to look for some stuff, but I was just going across it one Saturday morning, just searching across it, and I just so happened to find this, and it was only like $400 or something like that, and we negotiated on the price. They wanted more, we talked about it, but this is amazing. The gumball machine was from a Blockbuster in Chicago, Illinois, that they drove all the way down to the Pacific Northwest, and it was with the original Blockbuster employee, when they were closing down. And he had it for the longest time, and eventually he needed to get rid of it, and I was just lucky enough to find it, and they were just so grateful it was going to someone who wasn't going to try to resell it or anything like that. When he saw how my love for Blockbuster, he knew it was going to a good person. The gumballs, not these gumballs, but there were original gumballs from like 2006, 2008, and I couldn't try one. I was afraid of breaking a tooth. I did fill it up with new gumballs from, I think, the local candy shop down the road. And 25 cents, it still works. You still put in the money, you get a gumball, and the nephews love it. Again, while I mentioned that Facebook Marketplace is the best place to look for anything cool, this was another Facebook Marketplace find that I found last summer. It was in the December video, but in case you haven't watched that, Kingdom Hearts 3 display from GameStop. And what's funny enough, I think this is the exact display from the GameStop that my wife looked through in 2018, and now it's mine. Of course, I had to bring this up one more time, but the racing simulation, it's just so much fun. I have just the Logitech 920. I might be completely wrong. I have no idea which one this is, but it's the Xbox version connected to an Xbox Series X, and then I also have a mini PC that emulates GameCube, PlayStation racing games, etc. like that. Crash Team Racing, F-Zero, Mario Kart Double Dash, Mario Kart Wii. This is just so much fun to play, and it's just a blast. And another thing I can't remember if I showed off in the last video, But behind my door, I made a magazine rack for a bunch of Game Informers, considering Game Informers are no longer being made. So I thought this was just a cool thing to just kind of display. I used to collect Nintendo Powers. Unfortunately, I do not have the Nintendo Powers anymore, but I did for, I want to say up to from 2015 to 2024, whenever they stopped making them. I kept getting Game Informers in the mail because I was a GameStop exclusive member, or whatever, membership, pro member. And yeah, I have all these magazines. I have more somewhere else, but these are the ones that I thought were the coolest looking and the ones I wanted to display. One of my favorite parts of the game room, out of all the things in the game room, is definitely my arcade machines. Both modded, both custom made by me. For this one, this is just an arcade 1-Up Pac-Man edition that I got when arcade 1-Ups first came out, and I modified it with a Raspberry Pi, and now it's got like 9,000 games on it, every arcade game you could think of. It also has everything from NES to Sega CD to PlayStation 1 to, I think, even some PC ROM games are on here. I cannot remember. My brain's kind of drawing a blank on that. And then this is my Nintendo Switch arcade that I built from the ground up. The table I got from Amazon. This control panel I got from Amazon. The Switch dock I got from Amazon. TV I got from Amazon. Literally everything's Amazon, and I just put it together, and I'm able to play 2-player Switch games from Smash Brothers to the N64. And with the Switch 2 coming out, I'm hoping to get another dock that I can put Mario Kart World 2-player on here, and Donkey Kong Bonanza, and GameCube NSO. That would be so much fun. And then lastly, the Spyro pinball machine. This is the same pinball machine that I grew up with. Not the exact same one, but I grew up with a Spyro pinball machine just like this. And I had it, I want to say, sometime in the early 2000s. Got rid of it at a garage sale. I came across it at one on eBay, and it was the only one I found on eBay. And so I bought it, and during shipping, unfortunately, the knob thing completely broke. So I had to, unfortunately, kind of make my own. It's very, very unprofessionally made, but it does get the job done. Lastly, our computer setup. My wife and I have our computers completely next to each other. This was kind of the same in the Christmas section, so there's not much to really show of this. So just kind of passing it through. But yeah, our computer setup. We play Marvel Rivals together. We play Call of Duty Black Ops 6 together. All that stuff. And it's just a lot of fun to do together. So yeah, that's the game room. Completely revamped, redone, and overall just so much more spacious and so much more uplifting. And I have my wife to thank for that. So thank you all for watching for this quick little tour. I want to say updated tour. I might be doing one in December if anything really changes. I don't think much is going to change, so maybe the next one won't be till 2026, but stay tuned for my Switch 2 unboxing. My wife and I both are getting Switch 2s, and we're going to open them at the exact same time. It's going to be so much fun. And yeah, stay nerdy, guys. Have a good one.